Welcome to the Masterclass on Case Study Analysis. If you're new, welcome. My name's Nelly. I'm a CPA and management consultant, and I'm going to teach you how to effectively analyze a case study so that you can nail that job interview or really excel in that MBA program. Today we're looking at a case study from MIT Sloan School of Management called Lobster 207. I just want to start off with my opening assessment of this case. Here's what it comes down to. I don't think the lobstermen experienced or believed that they faced a serious risk to their livelihoods, enough to warrant them to either through a union or through self-organization, do something about it. That's the argument I want to make throughout the case, that the perceived risk, as we read the case, as the data is presented to us, the perceived risk of the lobstermen is higher than the actual risk the lobstermen believe they face. As we read the case, their livelihoods appear to be in jeopardy, right? They had so many pressures. They were the smallest person at the end of the food chain. So I like to think that there's a serious risk here, given that there is such a serious risk to the livelihood of the lobstermen, that the lobstermen themselves would organically and naturally want to band together somehow. I like to think that the lobstermen are seeing the same risks I'm seeing. But as I read the case, and I saw the data of how many people actually joined the union, barely anybody joined the union. 5,500 actively licensed lobstermen, they only had a 10%, 550 only joined the union over 5 years, and only half of those paid due. We're led to believe that the lobstermen's livelihoods are in serious jeopardy. But why did so few join? Why wasn't there more discussion and analysis on what the lobstermen actually thought? Did anybody ask them? Did anyone say, hey, your lives are in jeopardy. What do you want to do? I want to know what they said. And the problem with the case is that you're not told that. There's so many general statements made that some lobstermen felt this way. Lobstermen feel this way. How many? The case is lacking serious data. Serious data flaws in this case. There are sweeping generalizations made, okay? This is the ultimate problem with the case. I don't even focus on the last 5 questions that are asked at the end of the case. Well, how did Sully manage? What were the relationships? It doesn't matter because there's a glaring flaw in this entire case, and that's data, right? And why do I think that? By the fact that there is such low union enrollment membership, right? By the fact that even after they acquired the business in the case, they only added 100 more boats, right? If truly the lobstermen were really getting squeezed, I would expect to see thousands of boats. No? Am I wrong in thinking that, right? Based on reading this case, if all of a sudden tomorrow I was a lobsterman, I would feel in serious jeopardy and I would want to join the union. That's the first thing I would want to do, right? I think all of us would naturally believe that. But the problem is they're not doing that. 90% don't do it, right? And we have one piece of information that says, well, some of them thought it was a mafia or that it was run by non-lobstermen. But why would that matter? Why would it matter that it's not run by non-lobstermen? We needed more data, right? And I think this is where the unionizing efforts kind of fell short. I don't think enough effort and attention was paid to really understand the needs of the lobstermen. The first question, right, of the objective is to understand the needs of the lobstermen. I don't think that was fully met. I don't think the union did a good enough job of truly understanding. Maybe they did and we don't have the data, but that's the problem. The whole thing comes back to a serious lack of data. And again, perceived risk is so much higher in the case. That's what I'm reading it. And the results aren't adding up, right? So that makes me believe that the perceived risk and the actual risk, there's a wide chasm, okay? And maybe the lobstermen don't mind living like this, right? Just because they're facing threats doesn't mean they need to do something about it, right? Okay, you can acknowledge and support a not great situation, right? You don't have to act every time. So that's my overall assessment of the case.